Are you going to give Mac Jones his flowers?
No, I told you.
Why not?
I'd throw a pack of seeds at him. If he wants to plant them himself, he can do that. I'm not going to read too much into one game. Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. He was good. But as Chris correctly pointed out, a lot of it was sideways passes. It's what he did at Alabama. It was, please catch this and get yards after the catch. That worked for them last week against the Buffalo Bills. He was good last week. I said greater than Josh Allen for one game. I need to see more of it before I give him his flowers. In the meantime, here's your seeds. Go plant them.
Cam Newton had a good game against Seattle when he was here.
Right.
He did.
How long did that last?
Like that week.
So like I can't overreact to the one game. I can't. Like if it's a guy needs a track record for me in order to do that, and Jones doesn't have a track record yet. So I got to ride that one out a little bit more. Let's see what it looks like this week. I thought O'Brien. I said this I think early on in the week, so I don't want to sound like I'm just picking up with what Chris and Bedard were saying. But I thought O'Brien did a really good job last week. I thought defensively the game plan was good. They took away the wide receivers. They made Allen throw to the tight end and drive down the field, and he didn't want to do it. And so they preyed upon Buffalo's impatience. But on the other side, not to lapse into that, Jones was good. He made good decisions. He didn't have a ton of hard throws. The ones he did have to make, he made late with the game on the line. I thought the ball to Douglas was his best throw of the game because it was a design play and a step into it and zip it. And he executed it. So that I liked, but I'm not sold by any stretch.
So I just find this week fascinating because it is yet another must-win. And even if they win, I'm not saying this is like a guarantee or anything. I'm just saying if you win, it opens the door to what I'm about to say. It just opens the door to it. If you lose, the door might be shut. But if you win, it's definitely open to what I'm about to say, and that is Bill Belichick saving his job, Mac Jones saving his job, and maybe even back to the point where you're picking up that rookie option. Because if they close strong, and again, this would make them 3-5?
Yeah, 3-5.
3-5 puts them. 3-5 puts them on the way to that. 3-5, and if they win,
especially with the upcoming schedule,
if they win, you say, okay, I got to give them a little more credit for being real, because now you've just knocked off Buffalo, Miami, back to back. The second of which is in Miami, where you can't, you're just not good.
They just never win.
And now you do look at those games coming up, and now you say, okay, Washington at home, the Colts in Germany. It's like, now you're 5-5 and you're right there. And you own tiebreakers, and who knows, by that point, maybe you're even in that 7th spot. And that would have mean Mac Jones is playing better. And then now you say, well, it just changes the whole conversation around Jones and around Belichick. And that's a big swing. I mean, I think we've had a couple of these that, the Saints game was a must-win. And they lose by 35. I say, well, that's it. I gave them one more week. Well, if they go down to the Raiders, this is a must-win. They lose that. Okay, well, that's it. Now I'm officially over. I think after the Raiders game, I came in and I said, well, that's it. So, I'm not going to fight this anymore. Well, that's because I wasn't expecting wins against Buffalo and Miami.
Correct.
And now I go back to where I was before the Saints. And so, this is just a big swing game for them.
Well, look, again, the 3-5, 2-6 with 2 quality wins under your belt. If you're 3-5, is a massive difference. Especially, again, you always have to factor in what's coming. And Murray, to your point, because I know what you're going to say, well, there's no guarantee they'll beat Washington and Indianapolis, given what they've been early in the year. True. But I will give them a little more juice for beating 2 good teams in a row instead of 1.
2 games even before the season kicked off, no one expected them to win back and back.
Correct.
And it will mean that they're playing well.
Yeah.
Right, and teams do get better. It happens. I mean, that's not a stretch.
But of that swing thing,
playing the Commanders the way you were playing 2 weeks ago would have meant nothing. Well, if you put back-to-back games together where you're playing the Commanders at home when you're playing well? That should be a win.
Yeah, but of that swing thing outside of the season and then making the playoffs, I think Bill's here, no matter how this season plays out.
Really, you do?
Yeah. After that news last week, whether it came from his camp, I have to think that ownership has something to do with that, just to try to calm down the whole scenario of, we're going to fire him. The owner's mad. it's like how Shaughnessy always writes about Robert Kraft. He kind of wants it both ways. Like he wants to be the sword rattler and all of that, but he also wants to be loved. And I just don't think that he likes hearing he's going to fire the coach.
Now I wonder if Murray's got something.
I don't. I know. This is just my gut on that.
Because all of a sudden this is sort of a developed take here.
I don't think Bill's going anywhere.
Or
I really
would say
don't.
even a change, like a fresh thing.
It's just my belief. Honestly, I don't have anything on that. But the Mac thing, that can change. Because I do think that organizationally, they might be kind of done with him or teetering on that. If he plays well and they turn their season around, they're going to pick up that option. That I do think is in play.
Murray does have a tendency to, flip like a Belgian waffle.
That's so true. It is true.
They're not firing him, no matter how this season plays out.
Fair point.